Hey everyone, this video we are going to understand about serverless. What is this serverless all about? And also we are going to see about FaaS. Also it is known as function as a service. What are these all about and how this function as a service related to serverless? And when we are saying serverless, is it that true that we do not need any server to deploy your microservices and to do any task? We are going to understand all of these in this video, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's understand this diagram that we have. So first line we have here is IaaS, which is infrastructure as a service, and then we have CAS, which is a container as a service. Then we have PaaS, which is PaaS, platform as a service. Then at last we have FaaS, function as a service. So if you see this stack that we have from bottom to top, so at the bottom we have hardware, then we have virtualization, then we have operating system here, then we have here containers here. So under infrastructure as a service, we had to take care about all of these things that is highlighted at these places. So when we move towards the right, the thing that we manage is being less, right? So when we have container as a service, so container doesn't need to be managed by the user, so you have to take care about the middleware, data store and application. And when we have moved to the platform as a service, then all these things are managed by the provider, whoever is providing this. So you only have to take care about the data store and application code itself. And if we moved further to function as a service, then all of these things are taken care by the provider. When I'm saying the provider, example I can take as Amazon cloud provider, Google cloud provider, IBM cloud provider, Azure cloud provider, any cloud provider that you can think of. So under function as a service, we just have to take care about the application code, what task you want to perform, just focus on that, deploy that, and all other things, data store, middleware, container, OS, everything will be taken care by the provider. The purpose of this diagram to show you the different kind of services that we have. We have infrastructure as a service, container as a service, platform as a service, and function as a service. And when we are talking about the function as a service, so we are at the top, and we just have to think about the task that we want to do. So let's go ahead and cover few points about function as a service in detail. So when we are saying function as a service, so it is a cloud computing service. It allows us to execute code in response to event. So it is going to respond to the some events that it is going to detect. So developers don't have to worry about the complex infrastructure typically associated with building and launching microservices application that I explained you. Infrastructure as a service, VM, hosting, and previous deployment patterns videos that I have shown you. Now if you're using function as a service, you do not have to worry about that. You just write the logic, create the function, and deploy that. Everything with other things will be provided by the provider, cloud provider that we have. And what are the benefits of this one? We just have to focus on the code, not the infrastructure. We only have to pay what and when we are using that, and automatic scaling is very efficient with this one. So what are the best practices with the function as a service that we have to use? Each function must perform exactly one task. So there should not be many things taken care by individual, and just separate those functions based on the responsibility that they are going to take care. Don't make function call other function. So one function, you should avoid calling the one function by other function. So it's not that hard and fast. If it is just necessary that you have to call, you call that, but try not to do that. Why? Because when you're doing this, it is going to give you extra cost when you are using anyone, because that when you are calling one function from another function, it will keep running those function whoever is calling that. So there will be more running time, more usage, so more cost will be coming. So try to use less few libraries with the function. If you do this, your function will be lightweight and it will be very easy and quick to start. So now coming to the point, serverless. So what is this serverless? Serverless is a superset of function as a service. So serverless is a big animal and function is a small animal. Function as a service comes under serverless. So whatever I explained under function as a service is also applicable for serverless. So let's cover few more about this. Serverless is focused on any service category, like if we have compute, we have storage, we have database, we have messaging, we have API gateways. So in all of these services, configuration management and billing, all those servers are invisible to end user. So user don't have to worry about that. They are going to taken care by the provider itself. And if I talk about the function as a service, it is just focus on event driven task performance part, which runs only in response to the events when it is receiving that. So now I hope you got the understanding about the function as a service and serverless. Most of the time serverless and function as a service are used for same thing. Now coming to the serverless use cases. What are the use cases where we should use serverless? So first one is the tasks which don't have to run all the time. They have to respond to certain event that are occurring. Just perform that task and go to the sleep mode, or you can say they just terminate itself. And then again when event is coming, they start automatically and perform the task and again terminate itself. And next is the IoT based apps. IoT based application are mainly focused on the events, like some surrounding data. When it is when they have those events, they are performing that. So in those cases serverless can be very much efficient. And development speed and cost are major concern. So you just quickly want to start with the business logic, and you also concerned about the cost. So you just have to I explained earlier, right? So you just have to use what you use and when you use. Serverless is going to be very good choice if this is your concern. And auto scaling needs, if you want to efficiently auto scale up and scale down. And data transfer from one system to other system. So if you have one system, you just want to transfer that data to other system, you just write the logic for the transfer in the serverless function and connect that with the storage wherever you want to transfer that, and it is going to perform that very efficiently. And last, coming to the serverless technologies that we have, there is most popular this AWS Lambda, Google Cloud Function and Azure Function. There are other provider also. So any provider which is providing the cloud services, I'm sure they are going to have serverless technology as well. So that's it about the serverless and function as a service. So what is next that we are going to see here? So we are going to see the canary deployment. So I'm going to explain everything about it in the next video. Want to see all other topics under microservices architecture? This is the link that you should check out. So I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care, stay safe, bye bye.